We only have. Right, if everyone please take their seats, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. Today's date is November the 20th, 2025. This is the regular board meeting for the Lancaster ISD Board of Trustees being held at 422 South Center Avenue, Lancaster, Texas, 75146. This meeting has been posted according to the Texas Open Meeting Act. I will now call roll. Ms. Cortez?
Present.
Ms. Nichols?
Present.
Ms. Morris?
Present.
Myself present. Currently absent, we have Mr. Smith, Mr. Jones, and Mr. Cluis. The time is 6 o'clock p.m. And at this time, the board will go into closed session. As authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551.071, Legal Advice with School Attorney, 551.072, Deliberation Regarding Real Property, 551.074, Personnel Matters, and 551.076, Deliberation Regarding Security Devices or Security Audits. 3.1 will be discussion of personnel updates and employment and termination of administrative and instructional personnel. 3.2, consult with district attorneys on any subjects or matters authorized by law, including any matter listed on this meeting agenda notice, pending or contemplated litigation and proposed settlements, Texas Government Code 551.071. 3.3, discussion concerning the roles and responsibilities and ethical provisions governing public office conduct. That's section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code. 3.4, consider the report from counsel for all pending legal matters. The board would go into closed session at 6:02 p.m. and for the record, Mr. Jones arrived at 6:02 p.m. This evening, the board will be utilizing the conference room upstairs on the second floor. We'll return shortly. Thank you. Y'all ready? Where's Gregory? Right. All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all out tonight. Board of Trustees is returning into open session. The time is 7:06 p.m. Okay, we will start with our, we do have a quorum. The board is here. We will now move to the opening ceremonies. Dr. Pereira.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to call forward Ms. Kimberly Simpson to bring that information to our board and our community. Ms. Simpson, the floor is yours when you're ready.
Good evening, Board President Hamilton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Pereira. This evening, I'm going to call up our Rosa Parks-Millbrook Elementary Scholars. They're going to lead us in our U.S. and Texas pledges. Thank you so much, Rosa Parks-Millbrook. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we'll move on. I'd like to thank Rosa Parks students and the parents for coming out tonight. We'll move on to citizens communications. Dr. Pereira, are there any citizens communications?
Thank you, Madam President. I think there is one. Okay. Ms. Simpson, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Board President Hamilton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Pereira. This evening we have a request to speak before Lancaster ISD School Board from Ms. Denise Kirby. Are you here? Board Policy BED Local states that public comment during regular board meetings will be limited to 3 minutes. Please direct your comments to the board president and superintendent. If addressing an agenda item, please identify the item that you will be commenting on. Speakers may not use any individual's names or identifiable titles when addressing the board if the speaker is presenting a complaint regarding that person. Although the board cannot take specific actions on citizens' communication topics due to legal requirements, they will hear the topic and the board may have the item placed on a future agenda item for action, or refer the items to a board, commission, or committee, or refer the items to staff or study for conclusion. We ask that you state your name and address prior to speaking and identify the topic that you are commenting on. I will begin the timer after you have stated your name, address, and the agenda item. You will have 3 minutes to make your comments.
Good evening. My name is Denise Kirby, 212 Alverstone Street. I reside in DeSoto, Texas, 75115. My agenda topic is Dads with Donuts. And so before I begin, I want to share, I want to say thank you to all of you, the administrators, teachers, volunteer, and staff at Lancaster Independent School District. I'm a proud representative and a graduate of the district, and I am a representative of what this district can do. So although my message may appear emotional, is only because I stand representing my nephew, Raymond Murphy Jr., who is a proud graduate of Lancaster ISD also, who passed away less than 2 years ago. I'm trying to get my 3 minutes in. So I wrote a post on Nextdoor. I wanted to make sure that the board had a chance to hear it. I'm so disappointed in Houston Elementary School District and the LISD in their failed attempt to have dads and donuts. As a graduate of LISD, I will forever be grateful for the teachers, coaches, my family, and everyone that chose me as family while I attended the school. I showed up to the school to show support to my great niece with her grandmother, and the lack of organization and professionalism was unbelievable. My great niece lost her dad 2 years ago, and it has caused emotional and mental distress for her about the upcoming event. My family continues to try to support her through this great loss. My situation was only acknowledged and addressed by 3 non-decision makers in the room that I can't say their names, and one recently that I met in 7-Eleven. So thank you, sir. The decision maker whom we had communication sent to the night before we came about why we were coming failed to acknowledge us, and ultimately we were not allowed to participate. To remedy this outcome, we did check out my niece to spend time with her to reassure and affirm her value while reminding her how much her dad loves her. The amount of dads that showed up was amazing. We patiently stood in line to check in. Many were pre-registered and some were not. Not only was the registered dads process very unorganized, but the unregistered dads were turned away. All were holding proper identification. In some cases, there were incomplete registrations and those dads were turned away as well. The event allowed 1 person per student to come, and any additional supporters, including a gleaming grandfather, was turned away. It was rudely stated that females and/or mothers were not allowed. This was done without exception and without consideration. This can't be the case. We cannot have a society where dads are not able to come and show up for their kids, regardless of pre-registration status or system glitches. In a society where dads are not expected to show up in a room full of dads who showed up and were turned away. I wrote this post because I know it was important to the kids, and we have to do a better job in having contingency plans and ensuring our kids know that they are supported. I know safety measures are in place that ensures that this poor experience can be avoided. It's my plan to show up in my post and in this board meeting for the fathers and for any concerned community members. If I'm correct, the purpose of this type of event is to create an environment where the children feel supported and loved. But thank you.
That's the end.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, at this time, we will move on to recognitions and commendations. Dr. Pereira.
Thank you, Madam President. Ms. Simpson, the floor is yours for the recognitions and accommodations.
Thank you, Board President Hamilton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Pereira. We're going to start with our board acknowledgements and recognitions. November events recap. You guys know that we are always celebrating appreciation days and everything, so throughout the month of November, Lancaster ISD recognized and celebrated the essential roles played by our school psychologists, coaches, veterans, support staff, and substitutes. Almost each day was an appreciation day, and we are happy to highlight these amazing educators in our district. In addition, our campuses do a lot throughout the entire school year, especially in the month of November. And Lancaster ISD campuses continue to provide a wide range of family engagement opportunities that support strong school-home partnerships. They all have been posting on social media to highlight the events each campus designs throughout the year that welcome families, celebrate students, and encourage participation in meaningful ways. During the month of November alone, campuses hosted several activities for families to enjoy with their students, including Veterans Day programs, Donuts for Dads, Muffins for Mom, strengthening family sessions through our special education department, STEM and GT engagement nights, Thanksgiving turkey trot, Thanksgiving luncheons, party on the patio, parent lunches, party with the principal gatherings, and many more. Across the district, campuses intentionally plan a variety of activities that appeal to different family members' interests and schedules. These events focus on academics, social emotional support, literacy, parent learning sessions, or simply creating positive moments for families to connect with their child's school experience. We continue to encourage parents and caregivers to review campus newsletters and communication channels regularly for upcoming events, volunteer opportunities, and important deadlines. And on November 6th, which is also my birthday, Rolling Hills Elementary celebrated National Authors Day with a campus-wide focus on creativity and storytelling. Local authors, district staff, and families visited classrooms to read to students. Parents also attended a special session on helping their children protect and develop their original ideas. Students left excited about reading and writing. Lancaster High School hosted a heartfelt Veterans Day celebration organized by the Student Council to honor our district's veterans. City of Lancaster Mayor Clyde C. Hairston served as the keynote speaker, and the program featured LHS Choir, DC3, and the Junior ROTC. Guests also enjoyed a delicious brunch prepared by the talented Lancaster High School culinary arts students, and I also want you to check out this recap.
We are at the Lancaster Recreation Center, and we are here celebrating our veterans. This is the veterans program that is put on by LHS Student Council, so that's what we're here doing today.
Oh, I love it. It's nice.
Feels amazing to honor those that came before and even the present. It does good to honor people that have done good.
It means a lot that people show thankfulness for us serving our country and honoring the lives that were lost and honoring the opportunity of serving our great country to protect those ones that are here.
Army, 12 years, 2 deployments. I teach at the high school. I'm one of the math teachers. Having teenagers and having soldiers is one and the same.
It really gives you an outlook on the aftermath of a person's experience. You know, learn it in class, you know, you hear about these things, but to actually see these people and to sit down with them and see them still thriving afterwards, it really helps you understand what they've been through and how it has shaped their lives after the fact that they've served or while they're still serving.
We're told at 4:30 in the morning, we got a hot beach. And what that means is that be ready to take on live fire.
Yeah.
I'm 19 years old, and I'm like, man, this is it. This is what I signed up for.
And if you take time to listen to them, there's a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, and so it's amazing. The opportunities like this don't come often, so if you have an opportunity like this, you should talk to them.
Oh man, LISD does it like none other, honoring veterans. So I really appreciate it.
And we definitely want to give a shout out to all of our district veterans and veterans in general. And girl power was shown this school year for National Signing Day. Lancaster ISD proudly celebrated 5 outstanding female student athletes as they took the step in their academic and athletic journeys. Miss Lily Perot from track and field committed to Vanderbilt University. She signed. Ariana Davis, basketball, UNLV Lady Rebels. Journey Hampton, basketball, Old Dominion University. Mackenzie White, basketball, East Texas A&M University. And Kamaya Beck, soccer, Southern Methodist University. And then a special note about Kamaya, she made school history, becoming the first student athlete to graduate early from Lancaster STEM Early College. She will make that history in December when she actually graduates, and she signed her national letter of intent with SMU, and she will be on the hilltop starting in January. And last Saturday, Lancaster High School hosted the High School Barbecue Regional Competition. 11 teams competed in the following categories: desserts, beans, chicken, ribs, and brisket. Our culinary team placed 1st and 4th in chicken, 3rd place in beans, 4th place in ribs, and 4th place overall in the competition. We can clap that up for them. They also have qualified for the state competition in April, and we'll have them actually in person after that state competition. So congratulations to the culinary arts team, and we're going to wish them the best as they prepare for state in April. And again, it's been busy this week. Earlier this week, Lancaster High School Student Council, along with our baseball and softball team, hosted the annual Thanksgiving food drive in partnership with the Webo Market. By working with the Webo Market, the students were able to expand the pantry's reach and advance Lancaster ISD's commitment to ensuring families have access to nutritious food during the holiday season. Popular social media blogger Smash the Topic also stopped by and gave us some coverage, and now that post has well over about 20,000 views. I checked earlier this morning, so great exposure for our students, and people were able to see Lancaster in action as we give back to the community. And we have launched our annual Tiger Toy Drive, and we need your help to make this season unforgettable for some of our youngest students. We're aiming to collect toys for our pre-K and kindergarten students. Join us by donating a new or an unwrapped toy. You can drop off your gift at the Lancaster Admin Building, or for easy shopping, you can check out the Amazon gift list, where you can order directly and have the item shipped to our admin building. You can find the link to our Amazon gift list on the district website, and we are excited to work together to make the holiday season a great experience for our students. And a couple of upcoming events for Lancaster ISD. I don't think I have to remind anyone about this one, but I am going to say it. Lancaster ISD campuses and offices will be closed November 24th through November 28th. We're going to welcome all of our students and staff back to school on Monday, December 1st. And then upcoming, we have our District 6 Town Hall meeting with Trustee Carolyn Ann Morris. It will be held Monday, December 8th at 6 p.m. at First Baptist Church of Lancaster. And so, board, at this time, if you don't mind, if you could join me on the floor for special recognitions. All right, at this time, we're going to welcome up our Lancaster Tiger football team. We can get a little bit louder for that for our young men. Come on. I see a lot of them in the quarter zips. So we want to congratulate our Tiger football team for an outstanding season. Our players battled and fought with tremendous heart from start to finish. They demonstrated strength, unity, and resilience, continuing to compete at a high level each week in one of the toughest districts in the state of Texas, the District of Doom. We will look forward to receiving district awards at the end of the playoffs, but I do want to point out that we are especially excited for the months ahead, as many of our seniors will have opportunities to continue their football careers at the collegiate level while pursuing their academic goals. National Signing Day for this group will be held in February, so let's give them a big round of applause. So young men, we're gonna take a picture. So some of you guys, we're gonna ask our board members to kind of come in. You guys may be able to take a knee so we can kind of see our board members. We're gonna throw up our L's and take a happy picture, all right? Board members, we're going to ask you to find your window so we can get you in there. Let's throw our L's up. Big smiles, boys. Perfect. We look forward to a good off season too. Yes, right here. Thank you, guys. Let's clap them up, guys. All right, now let's call up our Lancaster Tiger volleyball team. We need more energy than that. right, this evening we want to recognize our Lancaster High School varsity volleyball team on their 2025 season. And when I call your name, wave so everyone knows who you are. A special congratulations to Michaela Bradford for being named District 11 6A Attacker of the Year. Michaela Bradford and Kanaya Lewis for making first team All-District, and Kendall Gaines for making second team All-District. Also, we want to congratulate Sydney Pat, Taylor Mills, Jada Hampton, and Kennedy Galloway for making honorable mention. And lastly, Kanaya Lewis, Michaela Bradford, Taylor Mills, Journey Cox, and Kendall Gaines were named Academic All-District. All right, Lady Tigers, we're going to take a group picture with you guys. You already know how to throw the L up. Board members, come on, find your window, and let's clap it up for the Lancaster Lady Tiger volleyball team. I do want to point out this is Coach Williams' first season with the team. Hey, Coach Williams. Perfect. Thank you, ladies. Come this way. All right, let's welcome up our Lancaster Tiger cross country team. We're excited to have the cross-country team here. They recently concluded their 2025 season. They went out there, they ran for long amounts of time, and the Lady Tigers cross-country team placed 5th at district, and we want to say congratulations to Monique Phoenix and Delisha Frails. Both of these ladies advanced to the regional meet and were named first team all-district. So we want to congratulate both teams, and we wish you all well. You guys really and truly represented Lancaster High School, and when I tell you those long distance, I commend you because I cannot, but you can, and we believe in you. All right, so let's throw up our L's. Let's take a big group picture. Thank you, Coach Megan Morris, as well. All right, so now we're going to welcome in the Tiger Marching Band. Yes, they brought the whole band because the whole band is the whole band. One band, one sound. All right, guys, so we get to see the Tiger Marching Band on the field on Friday nights as they perform during halftime, but that is not all they do. I want you to hear this, so everyone listen up. The Tiger Marching Band recently competed in the UIL Marching Band Region 20 competition and received an excellent rating. This is their second season competing in 6A, and this rating is a great indicator of the hard work and growth that they do. Whenever we call on the band, they are there. They are needed to increase school spirit. We always call Mr. Bonner, and he always says yes. I think on homecoming, they didn't have a day off. The band works hard, and they are the heart of Weibo Nation. So let's clap it up for them, and let's say congratulations. All right, so band, throw your L's up. Let's get a group picture. All right, thank you, Weebo Marching Band. And board, that concludes our board acknowledgments and recognition. So I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving holiday, and we will see you all back next week. Well, a week after, December 1st. Thank y'all.
Alrighty. Okay, congratulations to all of our students and athletes and band members. We're going to go ahead and move on. Tonight, board, we're going to adjust the agenda. We're going to skip the conservators report. Dr. Francois will do her report on next month. And just to highlight, she is online with us tonight versus being here in person. We'll move on to the superintendent's reports, campus highlights, 9.1, Rosa Parks-Millbrook Elementary, Dr. Pereira.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to call forward Mr. Slaughter, who's the campus principal at Rosa Parks. Mr. Slaughter, the floor is yours, sir, whenever you are ready.
Board President Hamilton, distinguished board members, Dr. Pereira, to our community. We bring you greetings from the great Rosa Parks-Millbrook Elementary School. All right, we'll start with our campus administrative team. We have our assistant principal, Ms. Pamela Neely, and our wonderful counselor, Ms. Josephine Catanach, and then there's a picture of yours truly. This next picture is the team that makes all of the magic happen. All of the great and exciting things that happen in our building happens at the hand of the people in this photo. I just happen to be the person that they allowed to come into the building to answer questions, but the hard work comes from this team here. And we have some of our team members here in the audience, if you wave your hand. All right, members of our campus leadership team. Board Goal 1 talks about demographics and students. Last year, we ended the school year with 419 students. Here in our 25-26 school year, we're at 412, so we saw a minimal drop. We started the year with about 375, but as time has gone on, that enrollment count is back up. Here we see our certified personnel. Last year we had 23. This school year we're up to 26 with only 3 teachers in the building still working on certification. So we are happy to show that number. World-class teaching and learning. So here you see we're highlighting for the 3rd consecutive year our campus has earned a B rating. We did earn 3 distinctions, and we are working every day to maintain that A rating. So we are working each and every day to bring the A home. A secure learning environment, we make it a point each and every day to make sure that as our students walk into our building, they feel heard, they feel seen, and that they are comfortable being there. If I feel safe, if I feel secure, it is easy for me to learn. So we make sure that we do a wonderful job of ensuring that our students come into an environment where, first of all, they are the focal point. And then if we are focusing on student and student achievement, everything else is easy. And our last piece that I highlight here is making sure that we're working with our community. If you have parental support, then everything else is easy. So that is one of the focal points of us ensuring that we have a secure learning environment. Here on board goal 3, our fiscal integrity, just making sure that each dollar spent is spent with students in mind. If we keep the students at the focal point of each dollar, prioritizing, making sure that we're looking at instruction, we're looking at social emotional, all of those pieces, and we wrap all of that together, then we're making sure that we are heading in the right direction. And one of our biggest pieces is making sure that we are maintaining those family engagement nights. Those are the most important pieces. Whether it's donuts with dad, muffins with mom, Grandparents' Day, which is probably the biggest event of the year because they come from miles and miles away just to make sure that, hey, little Cartney's, his grandmother is there. So we want to make sure that we're continuing in those efforts to focus on the family. We bring them in. If they are supporting us, then we're on the right track. And then board goal 4, our community partnerships. We have several here, whether it's chips, headphones, coats, shoes, whatever it is, our partners are partnering with us to make sure that whatever the need of the students is, they're there. And right there in the middle, you see that was day 1 of school. We sent a message out to our dads to say, hey, we need some dads on the red carpet. And they answered the call. So they showed up for us on the first day of school, and we could not be more excited about that. And with that, that is our board presentation.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to finance. 9.2, September 2025 financial report. Dr. Pereira.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to call for Ms. Mosley to share that information with our board and our community.
Good afternoon, Board President Hamilton, board members, and Dr. Pereira. This evening I'm presenting the September 2025 financial report. A full version of the report is uploaded in Diligent for your viewing. The first slide represents the tax collections report for September 2025, and the total tax collection was $76,698.87. The next slide is the representation of an income statement for the month of September, the top being the revenues that we receive in the district, and the bottom are all the expenditures in the district for general fund. The next slide represents the top 10 drivers of the revenue. Right now, currently in September on the report, the top driver is the Formula Foundation funds that comes from TEA, and then the TRS on behalf. The next slide is the general fund expenditure report, with instruction being one of the highest drivers, and then the plant and maintenance and operations being the second highest driver for our expenditures for the month of September. The next slide is basically the food service income statement. The top represents the food service revenues that we get for the meals served for the students, and then the bottom represents the third-party payments for our vendor. The next slide represents debt service. This is basically interest that we receive in the debt account for the month of September. We haven't paid any bond payments, and so that's why you don't see any expenditures there. I'm trying to flip with these glasses. The next slide is the investment portfolio. We have 2 pools, Lone Star and Tex Pool, and we have general fund, debt service, capital projects, and child nutrition funds in these pools. And this is the reconciliation for September. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we have this question, Ms. Nichols.
Sure. On the expenditures that you have here, and I'm sorry, I had to pause to get my, get my brain to catch up, right? So on the expenditures where we're showing the payroll, so our payroll cost is increasing this year in comparison to last year, right?
Yeah, it is. Because everyone, the teachers got the 5,000.
That's why. That's why.
And then
it's showing
everybody
it.
got the 1,000.
Yeah, that's
yes.
Fine. It's just that's okay. I just saw that. I was seeing that the cost is increasing. So, and that's because we had those increases. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's all I had. Sorry.
Okay, any other questions on the board? Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to teaching and learning. 9.3 HB3 update. Dr. Pereira.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to have Dr. Barker come forward to present the House Bill 3 information to the board and our community. Dr. Barker, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Madam Board President, esteemed board members, Superintendent Dr. Pereira. As mentioned, I am going to give you a quick update as to where we are progress-wise towards the HB3 goals. I will either come to you every other month with this or something from the DIP, just so that you know and can speak to where we are as it relates to this. So just a reminder, the board adopted HB3 goals. Early childhood math or third grade math is 45%, the third grade reading 50%, and CCMR, the cohort of graduates, that 90% of them will have a college career military readiness indicator. I presented this to you earlier in the school year just to give a comparison of where we are as it relates to STAR from 2024 to 2025. You'll see the increases there, and just to give a comparison of where we are as it relates to the goals. This is, and when we talk about HB3 goals, we'll be talking about MEETS data, and the tools that we use, the comparison is where we are as it relates to MEETS data. I do want to make a point of knowing that there are parts of the accountability system that looks at approaches data, but we'll be talking about MEETS data when we talk about HB3. So one of the things that we look to progress monitor our students with is NWEA MAP. And so what you have here is a look at where our first graders are, our second graders are, and our third graders are as it relates to reading and math in the BOY. So this gives you kind of a snapshot of what we start or where our students start at the beginning of the year. Notice the note at the bottom that approaches level, it begins at about 40 in the 45 percentile and the 70th percentile. This is the average percentile score of that cohort of students. So students in the first grade, the average percentile score for NWEA math is about 58, at the 58th percentile. We really want them to be close to MEETS level, which is the 74th percentile. So as you can see, we have a lot of work to do to get our students where they need to be. The next time I'll come back to you, you'll be able to see a comparison of where they are with the middle of the year, and we take those in January. Just wanted to give you a snapshot, and I know that's very little, of how we track our CCMR data. So, and what goes into it. You'll see AP, dual credit, early college, SAT, ACT Math and English, TSI. That's the one part of college readiness, and this is how we track it whenever the CCMR coalition meets. Part of behind where you see the attendees that are online, you see that there's a star Likert scale. And so when the coalition meets and they bring the data, we color in a star if 20% of our students have met that particular, whatever the standard is at in that particular area. Of course, the goal is for us to have 5 stars in every area. We do this for career readiness and also military readiness. This last slide is just a reminder. I think you all received a document from Dr. Lloyd. Wanted you to see the collection of things that we do to progress monitor, to evaluate ourselves, and also to keep the organization, the school district, up to date on, we listed as training, but professional learning opportunities so that we can all grow together as the organization grows and making sure that we reach those goals. So we update you all, but also talk to our principals about what the goals are, make sure they're in the CIP, and we're constantly monitoring that. Math has been a source of pride for the district in the past, and we strive to get there. And so we are very, very intentional around what we're doing in math and literacy, but want to make sure that we're doing and giving the proper support to the entire organization around what's needed with math. So you'll see some training things there. We're coming up on December, and you'll see that as we progress measure, we'll be looking at our mid-year literacy progress. We'll be looking, getting ready for our mid-year benchmarks, and then reflecting back to progress monitor ourselves by doing some collaboration walks. As a matter of fact, I was on a collaboration walk today on a couple of our campuses, and what happens in a I said collaboration, but what happens in a calibration walk, we go in the classroom and then talk about what strong instruction should like. We talk about the grows and the glows. And we look for those things that will make sure that not only will we meet the goals of HB3 that you all said, but supersede, I don't even want to say exceed, but we supersede what those goals are. That is our promise to not only the students that are in 3rd grade and who experience the CCMR goals, but it's our promise to all of our students. So with that, that is the update.
Thank you so much. Any comments or questions from the board? Ms. Morris.
Thank you so very much for that update. It's on. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very much for that update, and we look forward to what you have to bring back to us.
Madam President, I do have a couple of questions. Sure. Thank you. And I guess one of the questions pertained to one of the meetings I was out, and we were looking at what constitutes 1 year of growth. And you shared some map data at that point and gave some metrics there. What are we using to move those 0.5 students up as far as programmatically, or what programs are going to get us to that 1 year?
So a lot of what was shared in the superintendent's evaluation was really the gains that you saw was really about strengthening Tier 1 instruction. And so some of the gaps that we've seen, and I'll speak to math because that's some of the conversations that we've had. That's a big reason why we transitioned to the Bluebonnet curriculum. Really develops that conceptual knowledge. We're trying to break through and think about not only giving the students the information so that they could pass the test, but making sure that we strengthen their foundation so that whenever they move to the next grade, that they're able to engage with the curriculum in the way that it was intended. And so the calibration walk that I talked about, like those are some of the things that we do to strengthen Tier 1 instruction. We partnered with Sustain Ed, came here and talked to you. We have several partners who help us commit. We also reach out to some of our partners and collaborate with them. But the biggest thing that we think that will help us is consistency around strong Tier 1 instruction. And I have to admit to you, we've had strong Tier 1 instruction in spots. And so the growth and the performance that you heard about from Rosa Parks and some of our other some of our other schools that have done really well on standardized tests and beyond. It is because of some of the things that we're doing now. We've learned from them. We're trying to make sure that we're consistent with all of our campuses with the same practices.
Okay, thank you. My other question is, as far as the students that are on the meets level, say last year, how are we monitoring them to ensure that they're not regressing to approaches grade level the following year? Or how are we tracking that?
Great question. And so differentiation of instruction really helps us because students can access the same curriculum but at different levels. And so we, and being a parent of two students who were exceeded meets level all the time, the one thing that I personally hate, and they'll tell you, is busy work. And so all of our instruction needs to be very meaningful to all of our students. We can have same subject, same topic taught in the classroom at the same time, but at different levels depending on the students. How do we know that? Is if you were to go into classrooms, or if you were to go into class, I know I'm longer than 3 minutes. This is my good stuff. If you were to go into classrooms like I did today, you'll see data walls where we're able to see where students are progressing. And as we take any of our interim assessments, students may move about. Our students also know their data themselves. If you were to go, I'm going to call out a campus, if you were to go to BAMO today, our students can talk through what their data is and what it's going to take to move them. One other campus I'm going to shout out today is Rolling Hills. Rolling Hills, I saw evidence of a data wall where you see a student that is at meets level and what it's going to take for them to get to masters. So the student name isn't there, but their ID is there, and the characteristics or the things that they need to learn to move to the next level, students are able to see it themselves. So the most powerful thing is, yes, as educators, of us knowing, but students knowing their data and knowing what it takes for them to get to the next level. And our MEET students and our master students, they can tell you probably better than their parents for sure, and better than some of the educators that they encounter every day. So they know and they hold us accountable.
All right, thank you. And I definitely want to affirm you with that last statement about the students knowing their data and knowing how to get to that next benchmark. So appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions from DICE? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to maintenance and operations. Operations update, Dr. Ferrer.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to call forward Dr. Kimbrough to share that information with our board and our community. And Dr. Kimbrough, the floor is yours whenever you're ready, sir.
Good evening, President Hamilton, distinguished Board of Trustees, and Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Pereira. I bring to you our November updates from maintenance and operations. One of the first things I wanted to point out, one of the things that we really focus on, Dr. Pereira charged us with, is protecting our networks. And one thing that we did add was sensors to our network rooms. They are the lifeline of our schools. Our testing is online. Most of our teachers teach using the network, so if the internet's down, it's pretty hard for us to have school. So these sensors, one thing that was causing our networks to go down is the rooms were overheating, and we had no way of knowing that the rooms were overheating. So we did add sensors to all those rooms on each campus. Of course, you know the high school is our major network. If it goes down, the whole district goes down if it overheats. So we added these sensors. They went online a couple weeks ago, and me and the director of technology, we get an alert anytime these rooms go above 75 degrees. One thing we did find out that 6 of the units, they were not able to keep the rooms cool, and we did replace 6 of those HVACs in these rooms. The next thing is these repurposed child nutrition vans. As you all know, we got new vehicles in child nutrition, 2 new vans. So we took our old vans, not letting them go to waste. Instead of purchasing vans for M&O, which we need, we took the child nutrition vans, we repurposed them. We put kits in them. So our plumber got one, and one of our electricians got the other van, but they had to have kits in them to be able to carry their tools and equipment. So we can use those in M&O now. Also, working with athletics. One safety concern that was brought to us was these volleyball, where they put the volleyball nets, these studs in the floor. They were raised, which was causing a safety concern for our students. I think this is one of the last one that we repaired. You can see we have to tear that up and dig down and then reset that post so it doesn't raise up and cause a safety concern for our students. And about all the courts we played volleyball on, we had that issue where those things were sticking up. So taking them up and resetting them down. And this a concern that came from the high school principal and also chief. We're adding more speed bumps to their parking lot to kind of slow us down and increase student safety. As you can see, this linked by the high school had no speed bumps, but you see that we added speed bumps all the way around and also all the way out into the stadium to increase student safety when it comes to driving out there in that parking lot. One of the things, our ongoing projects, we're doing the facilities assessments with PBK, replacing carpet in the admin building and the seat. Also, you see that the weather is changing, we getting rain, so with some of our aging roofs, that means we have to do roof repairs and patch on minor leaks that are occurring. Also, painting and deep cleaning is scheduled for next week while everyone is off on Thanksgiving break. Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Okay, thank you. Next, we have the adoption of the consent agenda. 10.1 is consider approval of the following minutes. Number 1, October 30th, 2025, the regular board meeting. 10.2, consider approval of scoreboard proposal. Okay, board, this is an action item of the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam President, I would like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Hey, Ms. Nichols. Okay, have a motion by Ms. Nichols to approve the consent agenda, second by Ms. Morris. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. If you'll please vote from your devices.
Trustee Lewis, whenever you're ready. Would you like for me to vote on your behalf?
Well, is that for this particular item?
It is,
Okay. Yes, well, yes, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you, Trustee Lewis. Lancaster ISD, Madam President, Board of Trustees, in regards to the approval of the consent agenda, motion made by Vice President Nichols, seconded by Secretary Morris. Motion carried unanimously.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Allen. Okay, we'll move on to action items. Finance, 11.1, discussion and possible approval of budget amendment for general operating funds. Dr. Pereira.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to call forward again Mrs. Mosley to share that information with our board and our community. Ms. Mosley, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Board President Hamilton, board members, and Dr. Pereira. This is the item that I presented at the work session for the budget amendment for the general operating fund for the POs that were needing to roll with the budget. Do you have any questions?
Okay, thank you. Board, any questions, any comments? Okay, hearing none, this is an action item. Is there a motion?
Madam President.
Ms. Morris.
Thank you. I make a motion that we accept the budget amendment for general operating funds presented by Ms. Mosley.
Okay, have a motion by Ms. Morris to approve the budget amendments for general operating funds. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second by Mr. Smith. There's no discussion. If you'll please vote from your devices.
Madam President, in regards to the approval of the budget amendment presented by Chief of Finance, Ms. Dana Shaw-Mosley, motion was made by Secretary Morris, seconded by Trustee Smith. Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll now move on to teaching and learning. 11.2, discussion and possible approval of Lancaster ISD submission of applications for the LASO 4 grants. Dr. Pereira.
Thank you, Madam President. I have Dr. Knight at the podium to answer any questions, and I know this information too was presented at that work session. Dr. Knight, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President, esteemed trustees, and Dr. Pereira. I came to you at the work session with Melinda Cardenas from Sustain Ed Leaders, and she presented the LASO Cycle 4 grant application and talked about some of the initiatives that we plan to apply for. And so I'm here if you have any questions.
Okay. Thank you. Board, any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, this is an action item. Is there a motion? Ms. Cortez.
I move that we approve the Lancaster ISD submission of applications for the LASO 4 grants.
Okay, have a motion by Ms. Cortez to approve the Lancaster ISD submission of applications for the LASO 4 grants. Is there a second?
Madam President, I'll second.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Nichols has seconded it. Any conversation, any discussion from the board? Okay, hearing none, if you'll please vote from your devices.
Trustee Smith, whenever you're ready. Thank you, Trustee Smith. In regards to the approval of Lancaster ISD submission of applications for the LASO 4 grants presented by Dr. Knight, Madam President, motion was made by Trustee Cortez, seconded by Vice President Nichols. Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you,
Okay.
Board.
Thank you so much. Okay, at this time, we'll move on to board matters. 12.1, discussion and possible approval of Trustee Darrell Clue's mileage reimbursement for the TexEdCon for 2025 in Houston, Texas. Board, this item was placed on the agenda in reference to a reimbursement request. Just to give you all a little ad lib, from beginning of the year, for this budget year, Dr. Pruitt asked the board to use a district vehicle rather than each of us being reimbursed for mileage to help save the district budget. And this budget being her budget in her office, as she requested all departments across the campus. So this is an action item for the board. Is there any discussion?
Madam President, if I may.
Mr. Lewis?
Simply, Dr. Pereira did ask at the beginning of the school year for us to kind of cut back on some of our budget. I think we did that. But there are a couple of reasons why I chose to take my own vehicle. And now, and I don't think I should be asking for reimbursement because it's always been standard protocol that you had that option of being reimbursed for travel. We never took an official vote on changing any of this, whether it was through the board operating procedures or just any board meeting period for this school year. So for that reason, I am asking for the reimbursement.
Okay, any other questions, comments from the dais?
Madam President.
Ms. Morris? Could you please speak into your mic? Your mic is not on.
I would like to say in lieu that if the board is going to set precedents against the travel for elected officials, then I think that needs to go through another process with legislation, because if we start setting precedents, we're setting precedents throughout the boards in the state of Texas to choose, because we are allocated the funds, they're already here, we are already paying for 2 individuals from the state out of our budget. And in lieu, we don't take that many trips. So what I'm saying is that I hope the board take in consideration, if they have not researched this under the Texas governmental code, they should, and really think about, I didn't ask for reimbursement, but I did take the same trip, but it was a choice matter. It wasn't a matter of eliminating if we had the funds to do it. It wouldn't have made a difference because it comes out of our budget. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Morris. Any more questions or comments? I will make a comment on this matter. Myself, I did drive my own personal vehicle, but I had the understanding upon leaving Lancaster, Texas, that I'd be obligated to cover my own mileage based on the request of the superintendent. And as the board, we do set an example for the district and how the district should move, and we should set the examples. And this board had a in-depth conversation in closed session as well as in open session in reference to this matter, and there were not major objections, and individuals understood the request and acted as if they would adhere to it. And there were district vehicles made available for us to use so that we could have used a vehicle as well as a gas card, and you wouldn't have been out of any pocketed expenses. So I'm just asking the board, if requests are made in this manner, that we set the tone for the district.
Madam President, may I follow you?
Mr. Lewis.
So the district would have spent money anyway. So if I had a gas card, they were still going to spend the money. As Ms. Morris just indicated, we have a $5,000 budget. There was nothing new. No new dollars were being created. They were already there. I didn't want to put this out publicly, but because I believe in the Second Amendment, I'm traveling from here to Houston. So I have to protect myself. I have to do all those things that. So I got 2 of my questions answered this week from TASB. I cannot, at this point, get into a district vehicle with a firearm. Now, you could choose to do so, but the board would have to create a policy and put it in place for that. So,
Okay, any other questions, comments? Board, this is an action item. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the reimbursement for mileage for myself.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Lewis to approve mileage, the reimbursement for the Texas Conference for 2025, and a second by Ms. Morris. Any other discussion from the board? If you all will please vote from your devices.
Thank you, Madam President. In regards to the approval of Trustee Darrell Lewis mileage reimbursement for the Texas EdCon 2025 in Houston, Texas, we have 4 that have voted yes. Secretary Morris, Trustee Cortez, Trustee Darrell Lewis, Trustee Jones, and Trustee Smith. We have 3 that have voted no. Madam President, no. Vice President Nichols, no. Oh, and I'm sorry, and Trustee Cortez, no. But the motion has carried.
Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Lewis.
It's not about the money. So don't submit any payment to me. It's about how we're going about doing the work or the business here. The precedents that we're trying to set, it's not about the money. So please don't reimburse me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lewis. Okay, we'll move on to 12.2, discussion and possible approval of the Lancaster ISD Board Operating Procedures. We all went over this during our LSG training. In your folders, you will find there is the edited version with some redlining and strikes of the things that we discussed. And then there is a edited copy that's also there of those edits. I did not receive any other notes or anything from any other board members over the past 2 weeks. So board, this is an action item for us to approve our board operating procedures. Any discussion? If not, we'll definitely call for a motion.
Madam,
Ms. Morris.
I didn't submit any concerns. I do have concerns with this document because I felt like it would not be heard by the board, so I did not submit any concerns or changes.
Okay, anyone else?
Madam President,
Ms. Nichols?
and I'm gonna speak in my mic so that it can be heard. I know we've made multiple changes and you've requested people to submit their information via the portal. So this document will not be changed for another year. This is an annual process. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, the intent is to review this annually.
And so all the things that we've talked about in the working session, we've added those things here, as well as mainly the travel is now going to be documented in this document, and this will be an official document that is a control document for us as a board. Am I correct?
Yes, it is what we should govern ourselves
I just
by.
want to make sure we point those things out because I know previously we were still working on this. So now once we make a vote on this document today, this will be our official document until next year?
Yes, until it's reviewed again.
All right, I just wanted to make that statement for the records, please, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Clovis?
Mr. O'Hanlon,
Yes, sir.
would we also need to update board policy in regards to board travel?
No, this is policy, that the operating manual, if it's in, is policy. It's just not in the TASB world. So this is policy.
Why would we not?
Could put it over there, there's nothing wrong with it, but this is published just like the other, it's just not in the TASB system.
Additionally, the district would now need to take a position on board policy to be updated to reflect that if I, as a board member, am taking a district vehicle, I am within my legal rights to have a firearm.
You're given your legal rights to what?
To have a firearm in that vehicle.
It's just a reimbursement policy, you can do what you want.
Well, but in conjunction with the board policy.
In order to get reimbursed, you have to at least ask first, if this passes.
Okay, so that's two things, the reimbursement, okay. So the second part of that is updating board policy to reflect that any board member, if they're taking a district vehicle, they're within their rights to have a firearm.
To have a what?
Firearm.
I'm having trouble hearing my hearing aids.
Firearm, a gun.
You're giving up your rights to have.
No, you can, say if I take a district vehicle, I can have that firearm with me if I'm in that district vehicle. I know completely well I can't walk into this building or any campus, but
I don't see why, if you're going, you can, anyway, and you have the use of the vehicle, why you couldn't take someone else.
No, Kevin, he is asking you if he takes a district vehicle, can he take his weapon in the district vehicle? My understanding is that vehicle is just like being on district property.
Yes, except that it is not district property. You can't have the weapon in the vehicle on district property, but I don't see why you couldn't take it with you while you're traveling. That's way back before the current gun laws. You can always take a weapon if you're traveling out of the county.
right.
Period.
But if I'm picking up a district vehicle from district property, I can't do that.
I don't think anybody, if you just park your car and just put it in the car and take off,
sir.
I don't see how that would be anybody, an issue for anybody. You just transfer.
I think we should probably have some further conversation on that. I talked with Tasby. Right, well, I talked with Tasby this week, and what you're saying versus what they're saying is kind of not in sync, so we'll talk about that.
The weapon stuff is in flux because they keep changing the rules, but I wouldn't see a problem with that. That's your call on that. Just remove it as soon as you get part covered.
Ms. Nichols?
Yeah, so the issue is, and I just want to be clear, is being able to carry your weapon in the company's vehicle, correct? However, it's state laws stating that we cannot bring a weapon to the property. That's the issue, right? So you would need to leave your weapon at home, pick up the vehicle, right? And then go get your weapon from the house. You won't be I'm just trying to be flexible to the standards that the government has set out, and the reason why we have that because of the liability. I'm just trying to make sure I understand. I'm not trying to downrate your question or anything, but I think the solution for right now, until we get more clarity, is to do that.
Well, not to get too wonky on you, but to throw a little Fourth Amendment on you, okay? If you have your weapon in your suitcase, all right, and you transfer your suitcase from your own personal vehicle to the district car when you're picking it up, there's no probable cause to search your suitcase in terms of that. If you follow me? So there's no reason why anybody's just going to search it because you're picking up a district car if you have a right to do that. So we can get off into this, well, technically, did you have it in the parking lot for 30 seconds or stuff? But as a practical matter, the Fourth Amendment says no search and seizure. As long as you're not waving it around, you got it in your suitcase or something, that it's not going to be an issue. The same way that a lot of people have weapons in their cars back when that was prohibited, but you don't have a right to search without a right to search and seize that. There's no probable cause, then how do you enforce it? So if that's incidental, if that's what your concern was, I would not be concerned about it because of the Fourth Amendment. Just don't wave it around.
Okay, board, this is an action item. We need a motion.
Madam President, I move that we approve the Lancaster ISD Board of Operating Procedures as presented.
Okay, have a motion by Mr. Jones. Is there a second?
I second.
Have a second by Mr. Smith. Any other discussion? Hearing none, if you'll please vote from your devices.
Thank you, Madam President. On behalf of the Lancaster ISD Board of Trustees, in regards to the approval of the Lancaster ISD Board operating procedures, we have 6 that have voted yes, and we have 1 that have voted no. Secretary Carolyn Morris. Motion carried.
Mr. O'Hanlon?
Yeah, I want to point out one thing that was new language that we had never discussed before about the town hall meeting. Just to point out, we have new rules on town halls. You get 1 a year that's supported by the district. That can be on district facilities of the cities. That will be supported. You can't have one while you're a candidate. So we don't get into promoting one candidate or another. So while you're a candidate means the time between the time you have registered to be a candidate and the time of the election, all right? That doesn't mean you can't have other meetings. you're not prohibited from having them, they won't be district supported. Or the other way to do it, if you wanted to get to the voters, there's no prohibition about what candidate forums, which is a different kind of critter. That's the difference being, if you're at a town hall meeting, it's the trustee holding it. A public forum or a voter forum is all the candidates for that particular seat. So the district isn't picking. So those are new. It's in the policy. Take a look at it in terms of that. Ms. Morris, I think if you have it in other, if you're not, yours was going to be at a church or something. I thought you said in the announcement. The way that would work, you could do a second one at a church. You just can't be district supported.
So what you were saying.
Do as many as you wanted.
So what you're saying is probably why it's never mentioned from the dais is because maybe the board felt that it's not supported by the board. So therefore, maybe that's why I had a hard time trying to get the board to recognize that this town hall meeting, any town hall meeting, because I'm a definitely policy person. I'm not creating or trying to change a policy that legislation have already voted on. So quarterly, it is one of the election codes that individuals, board members, can have meetings quarterly. So now the board, that's probably why I have the issue myself with one of the issues in this policy is the town hall meetings. But I do understand it. That's the privilege of individuals voting how they feel and what they believe in. I've never had a meeting on district property, but all of my meetings, administration, because my meetings are about district business only.
So the issue that, as I understand it, that was be addressed as was asked for me to draft this was the conservation resources. It's not the message. It is that they're getting popular amongst the trustees, and they do take some time and stuff to prepare, so they're trying to ration staff time.
Oh, well, that didn't have anything to do with mine, because mine was 3 months out.
Thank you, Kevin. Ms. Allen, you had something?
Yes, Madam President, thank you very much. I just want to make sure that I note for the record in regards to my being able to be consistent in regards to the motion as it relates to approval of the Lancaster ISD Board operating procedures. I just want to make sure that it's noted for the record that motion was made by Trustee Todd G. Jones, seconded by Trustee Kendall Smith, and then as is stated below in regards to the vote, those who have voted yes, President Marion Hamilton, yes. Vice President Queenie Nichols, no. Secretary Carolyn Morris, yes. Trustee Johnny Cortez, yes. Trustee Darrell Cluis, yes. Trustee Taji Jones, and yes. Trustee Kendall Smith. Motion carried.
Okay, Ms. Allen, just for clarity, can you repeat Ms. Nichols' vote for me? Because I think you said no, and she said her vote should have been yes.
Thank you very kindly, Madam President. For the record, Vice President Queenie Nichols, she did vote yes.
Okay, thank you. You probably just misspoke. Okay, at this time, we appreciate you for that.
Voted no.
Yes.
Thank you.
We'll move on to 12.3. Board action for Lancaster Independent School District. School board to cast votes to nominate candidates for the appointment of the 2 positions for the Appraisal District Board of Directors in accordance with the Texas Property Tax Code. You all, we received the information in diligent as to who the candidates were. Lancaster ISD, we have 18 votes that we can distribute amongst the candidates that are listed on the roster of candidates. So at this time, for discussion, how would you all like to distribute your votes? We have 2 board members that sit on our board that has submitted, myself, Marion Hamilton, and Janae Cortez.
Madam President.
Mr. Jones?
I move that we distribute 9 votes to President Marion Hamilton and 9 votes to trustee Janae Cortez from Lancaster ISD.
A second.
Okay, have a motion by Mr. Jones to divide the votes, 9 to Janae Cortez, 9 to Marion Hamilton, a second by Mr. Smith. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, if you'll please vote from your devices.
Madam President, thank you very kindly. In regards to the approval to cast votes to nominate candidates for appointment to 2 positions for the for the Appraisal District Board of Directors in accordance with the Texas Property Tax Code, motion made by trustee Taji Jones to split the votes between Madam President Marion Hamilton and trustee Janae Cortez, seconded by trustee Kendall Smith. Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you so much. Okay, we have a few reminders. Up next, we have the joint city council meeting, board of trustees, which will be on December the 1st, 2025 at 6 p.m. Board, we actually, myself, Dr. Pereira, met with the city manager on yesterday, and we built the agenda. We will have Ms. Allen send you all out that draft agenda in the morning for you all to review, and feel free to send back comments, but just because the district is closed next week, please send those back as soon as possible. NASB 53rd Annual Convocation, Chicago, Illinois, December 10th through 14th, 2025. TASB 41st Annual Conference, Irving, Texas, February 18th through 22nd, 2026. TASB Governance Camp, Galveston, Texas, March 4th through 7th, 2026. TCB-SBM 2026 Education Summit, April 15th through the 18th, 2026.
Madam President.
Ms. Jones.
For those who are attending the NAPSI conference, the Governance Education Commission will be hosting a luncheon. So if you have not gotten your tickets, please get your tickets for the luncheon. We will have a speaker there. The Southern Education Foundation will be talking about different ways for us to combat this new voucher system, and that's been put in place with the most recent legislation. So I would love for any of those who are attending to participate in that luncheon and spread the word. There should be some information in the social media coming out. It should come out this week, but if not, it'll be coming out soon, identifying who those presenters are and what the topic is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we've come to the end of our agenda. All in favor of adjournment? Okay. Okay, we will adjourn. The time is 8:28. Everyone, please enjoy your break and have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. See you all next month.